But I want to move on a couple more things. So let's move back to Raw. This was from Raw the 23rd. We haven't talked about anything from Raw yet. So I think the main thing that happened, though, the main event, was that Jey Uso was fighting for the Intercontinental title against Bron Breakker, and it was a very hyped up matchup, and it was the main event of the evening, and it was very it's kind of blurry, but there's Jey Uso right there doing a frog splash or whatever his move is called onto Bron Breakker for the win, and he did get the win, and he did win the Intercontinental title. So I skipped most of the angle, but for this angle was just the match basically, and I gave it. Let's go pull up our Malapert Smark rating system once again. Robert gave it a thumbs up. I remember I read a comment from you saying that you didn't really like the booking. You didn't like who went over. So if it wasn't for that, you would have gave it 2 thumbs up. But the match you said you really liked, you didn't like the booking. Vlad, half a thumbs up. So you kind of liked it, but also complained about the booking. And me, I'm at an indifferent because I just can't bring myself to care about Jey Uso. But I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But I guess I'll start with Robert. You want to just clarify your thumbs up?
I thought the match was really, really good, and the crowd was very, very much into it. So let's say I don't watch wrestling that often, and I just happen to tune into this match, not knowing too much about everything else that's going on. I would be watching this like, man, this is really cool and entertaining. So there it is. That my thumbs up is really for that. I didn't give it 2 because, again, kind of like what they did a month or 2 ago with Sami Zayn, they're derailing Bron Breakker's momentum, and that's where my issue with it was. Because I mean, I don't know. I think,
what's up with Jey Uso, man? Why isn't it his time? Everyone was saying, hey, he's never had a singles championship in wrestling, right, and he's over, and everyone loves him. So why are you saying, hey, it's only Bron Breakker that we should care about? What about Jey Uso? I'm just asking.
Well, okay. Then that's where I did feel conflicted about that, because I feel like for Jey Uso, not that he didn't deserve the title, but if they were going to do it, I think they should have done it sooner. Because doing this now while Bron Breakker is also on the rise, they kind of WWE kind of shot themselves in the foot with just this booking. I think they should have just never had this match to begin with, personally. Because either way, there's gonna be an issue. Like if Bron Breakker won, then the people who've been supporting a push for Jey Uso to have the title will be complaining about how he still hasn't won, and then for the people that are backing Bron Breakker because he's on the rise, they'd be like, okay, what the heck is the second time in the past 2 or 3 months that you derailed his momentum? So I think this match just should have never happened. Period.
All right, let me jump over to Vlad. So is this an AEW level of burial right here for Bron Breakker? Like, it matters, right? It matters to watch people take a clean loss, right? Okay, so let's hear your thoughts. Half a thumbs up on this from Vlad.
Well, half a thumbs up on the match. I thought it was very high quality. But as far as
so you're giving the good rating for the match.
Yeah, the booking is very, I don't know, questionable, I would say, because I understand that Jey Uso is over. I understand that he's getting a really good reaction. But if you're going to have him beat Bron Breakker, shouldn't it have been like at a PLE? Shouldn't it have been built up for like many weeks and maybe even a couple of months? Maybe should they had multiple matches? Why have it on Raw as the main event? Like, why does he have to go over here? Like, he doesn't have to go over here. There could have been some kind of fishiness, and Bron wins by cheating, and then they have matches later down the line, and then maybe he beats him. Maybe, if that's the direction you want to go. I'm still not sure. I'm not 100% sold on Jey Uso being a singles. Definitely not a main event guy. I mean, so the question is like, I think you asked like, why is the focus on Bron Breakker? It's because Bron Breakker it's like a can't miss prospect, sure to be the next big thing if he just everything goes right and he's injury free and all that stuff. And Jey Uso to me is just a guy. He's getting a great reaction, so you can't ignore it. But I don't think there's anything really great about Jey Uso. Like, his promos are very boring, and he just says the same thing. His wrestling is okay when he's with the right person, but I wouldn't say it's like better than anybody else's. So he's just an okay guy, but something about it is getting a great reaction. So you have to kind of give that credence. But I don't know. I think it was just weird to have Bron lose on a Raw like that. I didn't really agree with that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, look, people can become champion. I don't think anyone ever really looks back and say, did he win it clean? You know, they could have. Bron Breakker's been talking shit to so many people, especially in this Intercontinental title tournament.
He went up to everybody, right? Yeah.
Yeah, any one of those people could have come up during the match and just at least like stuck their nose in and just say, hey, there was a little bit of a confusion, so maybe that cost them. You know, nothing really crazy, but you could give them a little bit of an out. Because, I mean, WWE's been doing it lately where like they're doing this AEW style. We got to see who wins if they have a fair fight. Why? Why do we have to see who wins? Like, why don't people put their foot down? Like The Undertaker and Stone Cold would have many matches, but there would never be a clean victory. Someone would always jump in there and, cause a confusion.
Or at the very least, not on the weekly show. Like, save it for the PLE. If you're going to have a title change like that for one of your biggest stars, and I do think Bron Breakker is currently or will be one of their biggest stars, you could do it at a bigger moment than Raw. I'm sorry. Raw is a weekly show. It's not special. I mean, I know it's the main event of Raw, but still, there's a ways to get around this and still have them feud down the line type of thing, like where Braun still leaves with the title.
Yes. Also, I want to expound on one other thing that you were talking about, how you were just criticizing Jey Uso as character in general. And I'll say it. His gimmick sucks. His gimmick is so stupid. It is like worse than AEW. It's worse than Orange Cassidy. He goes yeet.
Well,
he goes yeet. Okay, I don't care about Jey Uso at all.
Cassidy,
that's why I said I'm indifferent to this. My rating on this was completely indifferent because I just cannot care about Jey Uso winning.
Yeah, I understand, but there has to be something at the very least thought of why he's getting a great reaction from the crowd. Like the crowd did go pretty crazy when he won. Right. So I mean, a great reaction's a great. It
doesn't mean Danhausen gets great reactions. Does that mean you should put the fucking TNT title?
It's not on the same level.
This is not.
Well, not Dan.
I know I criticized him, but I'm not putting him on Orange Cassidy Danhausen level, for God's sakes.
I think I put Jey Uso at Orange Cassidy level. Basically.
No, bro, no. So I don't agree with that. I think he's a far superior
as a single.
wrestler.
As a single, his character is not like ha dumb. I think he's trying to be cool, but he's not cool to me. So I'm sorry, man.
I understand, but he is getting a great reaction from the crowd, and the crowd that is there thinks he is quote unquote cool, or else why else would they be cheering for him like that? Why
exactly.
I mean, a lot of guys were on the show, and I think he was one of the only guys that I saw get a reaction that loud. So, gotta give him that at least. So, I mean, I don't agree with the booking decision, but you can't say that the reaction wasn't there because the people did care. They were cheering with him when he won. So
okay, I guess. But there's been times throughout wrestling history where people do give people a reaction, but they just don't push them because doesn't make sense.
True.
So
True.
Okay,
I mean,
all right,
yeah.